Hi everyone, how you doing tonight? Just getting everything set up and hopefully people see the notification and hop on. Um I didn't put like a reminder in the group or anything tonight, so hopefully. So yeah, I apologize for last week. I was not feeling well. I still have a kind of gross cough, so I apologize tonight if I end up coughing. Um I slept so much like last week, so but I'm definitely feeling better now. Hi Arnetta, are you supposed to get hit with the storm? I saw that like Virginia and stuff, so I'm assuming DC. I was looking at the weather earlier. Hi Lucy. Um, yeah, so the other day I ran a couple diagonal lines to see if it would sew okay, and I even drew one on with chalk, but it was so difficult. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm literally just sewing the diagonals across the boxes. And then I set up my serger. So I'm going to turn the camera and try to do um, to serge the sleeve back onto the sweatshirt. So we'll see how it works out. And I'm not stressing too much. Like I don't have a walking foot for this machine. I figured that since this is going to be a sleeve and like curled around and stuff, that I don't think anyone's going to look at like spacing too closely. And the same thing with the diagonals. I'm literally just eyeballing it as I go across. Oh, they're still waiting to see what's going to happen with the snow. I hope that you guys don't get hit too hard. I don't think that any's in our forecast, but I don't really know. We had some snow over the last week, but then it turned to rain afterwards. So nothing really stuck. It just made it really like slushy and messy. Oh, thanks, Dad. And so as I'm doing this, I'm not going all the way across. Like I'm starting basically where I can feel the sweatshirt sleeve underneath. And so like starting and stopping just where the sleeve is. Yeah, Lucy. Hi, Nicole. Yeah, I figured for this, since it's not going to be laying flat, that I'm like, I don't want to, not that would be a waste of time, but spend all that time marking out straight lines. And I don't have a walking foot for this machine, so they might not even be that straight at the end of the day anyways, so. And honestly, when I started this project, I thought it was gonna go a lot quicker. So I'm also like, all right, I just kind of want to get this done so I can finish the other sleeve. Because at the rate I'm going, I feel like it's going to be summertime and I won't need a sweatshirt. Thankfully, the regular foot is working pretty well. And I'm using a 9014 needle, which is kind of large, but with the sweatshirt material, it seems to be like working out okay. And I'm using Tex 35 thread, which is what I usually use for bag making. This is a Singer 5528. So I have a walking foot for my brother machine, which is also a low shank. I think that's what domestics are. And I tried it on here, like it fits and stuff, but it doesn't actually walk. So I need to either purchase, I'm assuming, like the Singer brand or find one that is actually compatible with this machine. So have you guys been working on any projects over the last, well, I guess 2 weeks now, or been sewing anything? I went to my local Joann's yesterday to pick up some of their ripstop because I like using, they have like a really affordable kind that I like using to test out on bag patterns, and I was really surprised. The place was already like, so much stuff was sold. Yeah, and I just pinned this together, I think last time when I was on the live, and so far it seems to be like, it's not really wrinkling up or pulling up or anything. Oh, I saw that they had so many good fabrics with all that, like the sheer top. It looks like beautiful, especially for like um summer, or a lot, some of the patterns even reminded me like it would make like a nice Easter dress or something. Yeah, same here, Lucy. It just started on Saturday and we went Sunday, and already like so much stuff was already like sold out or really being wiped out. But um where I live in New York, there's only one that's really like close to me, and I think that's why, because it's like one of the only options. Oh, the Scotty convertible backpack. Yeah, I keep changing your mind. Oh yeah, Arnetta, I do that all the time. I finished filming over the weekend a Lauren bag from Mormino. I've not made that pattern before, and I really love how it turned out. We're doing a sewing marathon on Saturday, so my video for it is gonna premiere at 1 o'clock. So with the premiere, it will like be live in the chat. So if you guys are free on Saturday all day, there's different videos. So I'll post it in my group, the schedule or the link tree, so you can see them all. Oh, the bow bag. Yeah, I was reading about that, Nicole, in all the groups. It's a cute bag. Which one is the Sequoia? Hi, Wendy. I'm testing 2 bags. This week I actually have the week off for school. They call it midwinter break. So I have 2 different patterns. One I'm testing for KMG handmade, and one for carbon chic. So I've been pretty busy with that. I'm trying to make videos for both of them as well. I love the look of the Saya Sidekick, but I have not tried it yet. It looks so fancy, but Lynn's patterns are always like really doable, I feel like, and her explanations are well. So I'd imagine that it's probably a lot easier to put together than what it looks. Oh, okay, it's a Shambhala. I'll have to check out that one, Nicole. Yeah, Carbon Chic. I love Demi. She's so sweet. She's the one that does the Hugo bag that I did, like the dragon face for the other, on one of my lives. Yeah, so she has a new pattern coming out. But I have to do all the measurements because she's out of Australia, and so like the paper size, the letter size is different from the A4. But also I have an HP printer. I don't know if you guys have this problem, but I have an HP printer, and I think it has wider margins than some of the other printers that people design patterns for, because a lot of times mine get cut off And there's only so much, like, even though I have Adobe, I can't really adjust it too much to get the pattern pieces. So a lot of times I have to kind of complete them myself. All right, well, this is going fairly quickly. It's about halfway done, I'd say, across the sleeve. I need to take like a lint roller because all the little pieces. Thankfully, I haven't had to on-pin too many of these yet. I placed them in decent positions. So those of you that do quilts, do you use basting spray or do you use the pins when you baste them together? I bought all these pins for when I did my puff quilt. Use a projector. You know what's funny, Lucy? I have a projector. It's not a short throw though, so I need to either mount it or get some type of like setup. I know people have used like a boom pole almost for like microphones to try to make it like portable. So I do have one. I wish I was still in the classroom because then I had the short throw within the classroom. Oh, right. So the long arm, yeah, you can just roll it on the basting spray. Yeah, I think if I'm going to do like more actual quilting like this, getting some basting spray. But like these, the pins are working out a lot better than I expected. I thought they were going to move around a lot more. Lucy, so do you use your projector for bags and not just clothes then too? So I can imagine. I mean, even in my own patterns, I include that A0 file so you could do like copy shop. And I know a lot of bag makers have started including that with the you know the rise of the projectors. Oh, all right. Thanks, Lucy. Yeah, I joined the Facebook group that's I think it's called like Projectors for Sewing or Projectors for Patterns. I don't know. One of those that has like two members both made two different programs to help with the calibration. Oh, you did your Saya sidekick with it. Yeah, I can imagine that it goes so much faster. And a lot of times I honestly like sit in my living room and cut out on the floor. But you'll see when I turn the camera later where I have my serger, I put a cutting mat on the table. So I've been also standing in my sewing room and cutting at a table now as well. Oh, perfect, Lucy. Yeah, maybe that's something I can add to my to-do list this week while I'm off. Because honestly, I bought it probably like over 6 months ago, to be honest. I've had it for a while. So one of the things that I was looking for at Joann's, but they were sold out of all the stuff is I was looking for the little rolls of the pearl cotton, I guess it's like embroidery thread. I have one of my small cotton cuts quilts from like 4 puzzle mystery quilts ago. I'm trying to think of the name. Cornflower was the colorway, and it's all solids. And I've been thinking about hand quilting it with, I don't know how to pronounce it, sashiko, I think it is, with the really big quilting stitches. But I don't know if I'm taking on a project that I'll later regret. Because I have the batting for it, and I have Minky for the back, but I don't know if I want to actually quilt it on a domestic. But I was thinking that with those large stitches on a solid would look really cool. Yeah, Lucy, that's what I was thinking, because the like, you're right, the bag patterns themselves are not humongous, or I could just move it. And I've seen a few within the group where people have used like the tension rods or the boom stands, different ways to make it a little bit portable or whatnot. All right, I think I only need a couple more diagonals. And then my thought is I would cut out, like maybe flip it over, stitch around where I have the sleeve, and then cut out the, cut off the excess before serging it. So I'm not sure if any of you are going to Sewcation in Las Vegas this summer by Sew Bestie, but I was talking to Amanda today, and I think I'm going to put in to be a teacher. Since it's in July, it falls during my summer break, so it makes it easier to attend. This is going way quicker than I really expected it to be. I think part of it is having everybody chatting and whatnot. It makes time go by. Because this is usually like my least favorite part. So if you make bags, do you guys ever use the Theratex or the bonded nylon from Wonderground, or I think one of the others calls it Dragon Sheen? We just ordered some and it came in the other day. We have it in like 5 different prints, and I'm so excited about it because it's become one of my new favorite bases to sew with, so I don't have to worry about it like wrinkling or interfacing. You've used it for lines. You've quilted. How does it come out when you quilt it? I haven't tried doing that. Right now I'm cutting out like a duffel bag to try it. And I made a like a travel bag. The video that I did for Belle Originals, that travel bag, I used the Theratex for it. And I was just so happy with how it came out, because then you could like squish it up for packing, or you know, to go under an airline seat or whatnot. Oh, that's great. I'll have to try quilting it. I bet that would look cool with like foam to give it that like puffy look. Yeah, the two bags I'm testing, one I'm doing completely out of water resistant canvas, and then the other I'm going to use that new base. It was slippery. It is a little slippery because of the nylon. I haven't noticed it fraying, but that's not to say that it couldn't, the one that I have. I just don't think I've necessarily cut enough pieces to notice. I noticed that it doesn't, or at least the ones that I have, that it doesn't fray as much as like the water resistant canvas that has the PU spray instead of like the PVC. Yeah, I wonder if I'll have to check out, because I wonder if the Luxe Nylon Light is the same as like the bonded, or what's different about it. Yeah, because the kind that I'm thinking of is the one that has that soft white backing. Alright, so I have just finished going all the way around, doing a diagonal. I'm not going to do the diagonals going the other way. I think each of these turned out to be like a 2-inch square, and I did the stitching right through the center of them. So I think it's going to be fine, but what I am going to do is I'm going to stitch it with the sweatshirt side up, so that way I can make sure I'm following the edge, and I'm just going to go all the way around, so that way when I go to cut this out, that it doesn't like loosen up and it holds the edges. Oh, okay, the light. I wonder if it's more of like a ripstop, because the ripstop that I got from Joann's is kind of like that, where it's kind of hard to tell which side is which. Thankfully, this machine's being pretty good with this material. Like, it pretty much goes through anything I put underneath it, but I don't like sewing knits on it, because I find that it doesn't pull it through as nicely, which is why I got the serger. So I was a little concerned with how it would go through as I'm just going along the edges of this, but it's working out really well. hopefully it actually serges as well when I try that now too. I didn't cut off. I just literally used like scissors when I was cutting this last time, so some of it is a little bit thicker or whatnot. Oh, okay, the ripstop doesn't fray. That's good then. The one from Joann's that I have, it doesn't fray like a quilting cotton, but it definitely, like, I don't know if maybe if it's not on grain or if that's even a thing with polyester fabrics, but I do notice that it happens occasionally. Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you mean, Lucy. Yeah, it's enough where it's not necessarily framed, but you don't necessarily want to, like, leave it raw edged either. All right, Wendy, have a good night. Thank you so much for chatting and popping on. Yeah, I've definitely experienced that, Lucy. Or like once it starts or if it's not perfectly straight. But I'm also super guilty about not really trying to like line things up. Especially with bag making, I just kind of put it in as long as it looks straight. I don't line up the grain or anything. I honestly don't even really do it with quilting cotton either. Hi, Nikki. How are you? I was chatting with Kim from Y6 Made the other night, and she was telling me that the wind chill was at like -30 out in Minnesota, and I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, that happens to me all the time, Lucy. My hand constantly slides. Even if I put like my ruler down and I leave my hand halfway off, I'm really terrible about cutting straight. I know some people like to use just like a ruler in measurements, but I always prefer pattern pieces because I'm not very good with just that ruler. Alright, so I just went all the way around the edge, so I'm just going to trim out the sleeve now and cut off the excess quilting cotton. Oh my gosh, -3. Yeah, no thank you. It's way too cold. Although it was chilly here today, we've been getting some crazy wind. Not, was it two nights ago? We had super strong wind. It sounded like the house was gonna blow down. There's a lot of trees and stuff in like the more rural areas. We're losing branches and everything. Yeah, I would be saying inside too, Nikki. No way. All right. So I'm just going to finish taking out the rest of the pins. And now this is going to be the interesting part. Because whenever I have made clothes from like scratch, the sleeve always gets put in like not in the round, like gets put in flat and then serge the sides up into the edge. But I think for this one, I believe I'm gonna have to serge it like this first and then kind of go around the top. Hey Kim, I was just talking about you. I was just saying how you were saying it's like so cold out in Minnesota. All right, so tell me what you think. This is where I have cut it off. So my thought is that I am going to serge the long edge like this and then literally put them, like put it into the round. But I'm not sure if that makes sense. That's what I'm going to try. Yeah, it's so funny. I didn't realize how snowy, like I guess historically snowy, February is like one of like the snowiest months. But in my brain, I always think of like January as like the coldest. Oh my gosh, the ice cream. Like my mom eats ice cream all year, or my nieces, oh my gosh. I'll eat it occasionally in winter, but not a ton. All right, so I'm going to move this stuff near the serger, and then I'm going to move the camera around. I'm also streaming on TikTok. I don't think I'm going to be able to move the way I have the TikTok camera. I don't think I'll be able to move it. So if you're watching through there, I'm going to be disappeared for a few minutes. But on YouTube, if you get motion sickness, I'm sorry. I'm just going to try to turn it in a circle. So you might want to look away for a second. Don't mind my messy workspace over here. Right sides together when you sew the sleeve on. With the sleeve inside it, right side out. All right, perfect, Lucy. I'm gonna have to read that again before I attach them. This is the Lauren bag that I made. So when I was talking about the marathon on Saturday, my video is going to go live at 1 p.m. It was my first time I ever made the Lauren bag, so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Be like a nice summer bag. All right, so I just have, this is just a Brother 1034 DX from Walmart. I found out it was like $200, and it's super intimidating to have to learn how to thread it, but every time I do, I just like look at the video and it's become not so bad. And I really, to me, it was worth it for the finished edge. Like, I know you can use like the zigzag, and the Singer machine doesn't have like the fancy stitches. So this works out. I enjoy having this to finish the inside edges. And I'm just sewing as close to the edge as possible. I bought the sweater larger than my size. So there should be a little bit of extra room, because I know some of the space will get cut off by doing this, but then also the quilting. Mark the centers. Okay, yeah, so whenever I've done knits, I've marked like all four sides, or like, you know, like make the circle and mark the 4 centers. So that was my thought. So I'll do that once I get this part. Kim, I can't wait to see. All right, so I have the water soluble marking pen. It's like my favorite marking pen to use. So I'm just gonna mark, I think it will show up enough, I'm hoping, to mark the 4. And I know it's important when you're using knits to mark all 4, because so that way you're stretching it evenly. But I don't know if that's important or just the centers. I'm glad some of you that make clothes are on this. All right, so Lucy, you said make sure it's right sides together when you sew the sleeve on. Have the sweater inside out. Okay, so let me turn this inside out. Okay. And then sleeve inside it, right side out. All right, so I pull this right side out, which I'm really excited. I think it looks great. Hopefully this works. So basically, if I basically want right sides together, so I want this sleeve inside, I believe. I'm just tucking it. I just tucked it in from the top. And I'm lining up that seam here. This one I'm actually going to clip. Yeah, I love watching the marathons too. It's my best friend's 40th birthday party that night, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch the later ones, but I'm definitely going to try to catch as many. I love marathon days. I love chatting with everybody and just seeing how everybody does them so differently, or like the materials that they use. Oh, good, Lucy. I'm doing it right. Yeah, anytime I've made clothes, it's just for my nieces and like a knits pattern, usually like I make a lot of Ellie and Mac, and then I just check the instructions a bunch of times. So all right, so this is where I might have a problem, because the sweater, the armhole is a little bit bigger. So I was kind of just clipping around. So you can see, I think I'm going to have to ease this in. I don't know. Lucy, you have any tips for that one? Because this seems like a lot to ease in. I'm wondering if I pull it up just a tiny bit, so that way the top part is like the part of the sweater is a little bit higher, so that way the circumference is a little bit less. But I knew the quilting would tighten this up, so we'll see. And it's okay if it's not like perfect. I'm also, like I said, I also bought it much bigger, so it doesn't necessarily need to be that exact circumference. Oh, Lucy, sorry. I was saying it has a lot that I need to ease in. So I was going to say, do you have any suggestions? Like, I'm going to just try to ease it the best I can. I may end up with some wrinkles though, because there's quite a bit. I'm trying to distribute it as best as I can. think I'm just going to try it. I'm going to start where like it would be basically like underneath the armpit. That way, if there's wrinkles, it will just be down there where you don't really see them. Yeah, Kim, that's exactly what happened with by cutting the seam and then quilting it, which kind of shrunk it a little bit. The body has some extra. So I think I distributed it a decent amount. And like I said, if it wrinkles, I'll just make sure it's underneath the armpit. Gently tug on the quilted piece. Okay. All right, we'll try it. And it's a little bit thick, but this should be, I don't think it'll be a problem. I've done like minky blankets and stuff through with the serger. That's another thing I really love using the serger for. I know minky can be a huge pain on a sewing machine, but serging the edges made such a difference for me. And I'm just trying to not cut a ton off. I had it so I moved the little bar so I can kind of go in the round, but I maybe should have did it like the opposite way or upside down compared to what I did, because this overhang here, so I'm trying to use my fingers to like feel where the edge of the quilted part is. Serge the bodice the same amount you did the sleeve. I'm not sure what you mean, Kim. Like do a layer of serging around it? Like, should I have done that before I went through this? If this one comes out or it doesn't, look so good, when I do the other sleeve, I can make some changes to how I do that other side. Yeah, I guess the other thing that I could do, if this side comes out funky, I wonder if like basically cutting apart the sweatshirt and cutting up the side and attaching the sleeve so it's open, and then when you're like putting it wrong sides together and going like up around, I don't know if that would be better, because that's like normally how I put arms in. I've never done one in the round like this. I have like a whole respect for clothes makers, people who are like come from the clothes making world and are doing bags. I was not meant to be like a tailor or seamstress with clothes. I always tell my family, like, don't ask me to hem or do anything for you, because it's not gonna look good. All right. Like, got to the end, but I broke my last thread with the needle. But it was right at the end, so I might not even need to like actually rethread the whole thing, which would be really nice. Let me see. I'm trying to stick my fingers and thread it through. I'm hoping that this works and I don't have to actually rethread the whole thing, because I want to try to put on, I saved the cuff, so I want to try to put it with the sweatshirt cuff back on. I've seen where some people have, what's it called? Just like hemmed the cuff. But like I said, I'm atrocious with that, so. Oh, perfect. It literally just rethreaded, so that's great. Oh, okay. Yeah, so unless I'm like seeing this funny. Oh, there was a seam. I guess because of, I don't know if you can see it. It's almost, I don't even know how they put that together because it's not like a pronounced side seam. But I guess I could cut that, or maybe just pinch it together up here and just do a little bit just to make it a bit smaller. But I think I eased it most of the way. Right here, it didn't catch 100%, so I'm just going to go over that part. And right here one time, I'm guessing because I had it like the way I was doing it, I couldn't tell the bottom, so I'm just going to go over those sections and then I'll turn it right side out and see. Oh my, that's funny, Nikki. It's always people that like you haven't spoken to in a long time, or my meme, which is like French Canadian. She would have been my great grandma. Was like an expert tailor, amazing. But since she passed away, there's like nobody in the family now that does like any of the hemming and stuff. And I'm like, nope, sorry guys, I'm not the one. You want a nice new bag? I will make you a bag, but do not ask me to fix any of your clothes. Oh, that's funny, Nicole. Yeah. And like being in New York, there's so many like seamstresses and places, and like a lot of them are still like super affordable. I'm like, yeah, I'd much rather pay for you to hem my clothes for me. All right, because this is so thick, it looks like a little funky, but it's on the inside. I'm not really worried about it. So let's turn it out and see. Hey, I think it came out good. Yeah, I always check because, like I said, where I caught from that other side, I want to make sure I'm not missing anything, but I think I did a pretty good job easing it in. You don't really see any wrinkles. And like, I mean, obviously I'm not putting it on, but you can see like I'm super short, so even though I lost a little bit here, that's not going to be a problem. All right, so now I'm going to turn this wrong side out again. And basically just do the same step to try to attach the cuff. Because the other thing too, if I hem it, it will come past my fingers. So I'm hoping that putting the cuff back on will will help keep it like a good size. And this I'm gonna do like what I do with the knit, because if I mark the 4 centers, this is smaller, so I think I can just stretch it like what I would normally do. Oh, that's a good point, Nicole. Yeah. And I also have like a whole new respect for people that make clothes or do any of those types of seamstress work. Actually, my best friend, whose birthday is this weekend, her mom made her wedding dress. She is just a phenomenal sewist. Her work's incredible. We always go to her if we need anything to do with what's it called, like formal wear or anything like that. All right, and I think no, I'm gonna almost put it on wrong. I want wrong sides to wrong sides, or right side to right side. And I'm just gonna try to, the seam is like super thick where the serging is, so I'm just trying to nest it where that bottom seam is. All right, so yeah, so now when I do this, I always put like whatever is smaller, so if it's like the neckband or an armband on the outside, so that way I can like tug and it kind of straightens out. And I'm gonna start from the bottom. This won't, it's a small enough sleeve, so I'm gonna have to, it won't go all the way around even with that little bar off. So I always have trouble getting it started. Maybe I'll be brave. I gotta tell Liz that I did some type of clothing. I usually avoid doing anything like this on camera. It didn't, I didn't catch all the layers, like the knife didn't go all the way through, so I'm just gonna trim that off and restart. Hi Gail, nice to see you. Yeah, Lucy, I agree. With clothes that I've been making for my nieces, like whatever people ask to like fix, I'm like, I don't even know where to begin. So I also think for like my own brain, if I am trying to make clothes, just starting from scratch is just so much easier for how my brain works. Right, Nicole? Like, I love watching her on Sundays. I'm like, you're so inspiring. But now that I dragged the serger out, maybe I'll actually, I have a couple shirts for my nieces set off to the side. So before I put it away, maybe I'll actually try to get them done since I'm going home this weekend. Oh my gosh, Kim, that sounds so hard. Was that like a one-time dress and then like never again? Yeah, good point, Lucy. I think that's also the difference too. Like if it's something that like you're choosing to do to try to fix, then something like you also feel obligated. That makes a huge difference too. if I'm really supposed to like weave the tails back in, but I usually just kind of like go over where I originally started, so it locks the stitch in. And right here I can see where I missed the edge, so I'm going to go over that part. Oh, it uses boning? I've never tried to do boning or anything like that. That sounds really intimidating. Is anything new like that, I would need a really thorough tutorial video. I have this one spot right here that I guess I don't know if it cut it or if when I was cutting the thing out, the quilting on it is a little bit further down. I think I have caught everything. Oh my gosh. I had it right. Oh my gosh. I think I did this the wrong way. Look what I did. When I flip it like this, oh look, it looks great. I'm gonna have to pull out all of this. Is it bad, do you think, if I just cut it off instead of trying to unpick this? I see what I did, because I'm like, how did I do that wrong? I have it like wrong side to wrong side, but I should have had this the cuff on the inside. Lucy, you've done that. All right. Like I said, I'm short. I do not. There's nothing worse than trying to unpick serger stitches. So I'm just cutting this. And now I'm gonna have to the sad thing is it actually looked really good when I folded it out. This is like the one good time, like I said, when being short, that it won't matter that I'm. Yeah, I'll have less cuff, but like sweatshirts are always too big for me, like lengthwise, anyways. So I'm pretty sure I'll be okay. And then when I do the other one, I know I'll have to make it a little bit less to make it even. All right, so how. Is it because I want this? Do I actually need this right sides out? Is that why? Like this part. Yes, I think this is my mistake. So that way they're right sides together this way, so then it folds open. So that was my mistake, leaving it inside out. The way my brain works is like I probably should have did this. I usually have to like manually put things together and then like not necessarily sew them, but then flip them to see, like to visually see like, oh, is this the right way? left needle thread. You can just pull it out and you pull it out. Oh, that's good to know, Lucy, because I am terrible. Like, I try to, I don't know, go through each little thing, but now I know the left needle thread and pull it out the right thread, and then the loops will just come. No worries, Lucy, at all. Oh my gosh, no problem. But you know what? Listen, again, like, it's okay to make the mistake. Maybe someone else will learn from it. In my head, it made sense, like the right sides together, but not the way that I did the stitches. And now I'm just I'm watching, so that way it's just basically running up next to the edge of the knife and then not cutting anything new off. Even with making the mistake and putting this the wrong side out at first, I actually think this part is easier than putting in the top part, because this I can just stretch. It was also much easier doing it the actual correct way. I have one part here that I need to go over. So the thread closest to the loops first, pick enough to grab. Oh, all right. Thank you, Lucy. Lucy, you should make like a video tutorial of that. You can see I didn't catch it here, so I just keep going back where where it didn't quite grab all 3 layers. Oh, that's good. Sometimes I have trouble because I'm self-taught, like not knowing what to put. I guess for this I could just put like easiest way to unpick serger or whatnot, but sometimes I find I have trouble knowing like what terms to search for. Yay. All right, so now that I actually did it the correct way, I have a little bit of like the thread I'll just have to cut off, but that actually came out good. And I know next time just to do my cuff a little bit less. But yay, I'm so excited about that sleeve. So now I just need to do the other side. And I've been debating if I want to put like do like a block or something for the front or the back. But yay. All right, I'm just gonna turn the camera back where I was. That way, whenever I film, I have two, you can kind of see it right here. I have 2 phones or 2 cameras going because I like to go live on TikTok as well. All right, so I'm going to stop there because that worked out perfect. A little bit longer than an hour. It probably would have been less than an hour if I didn't have to redo the cuff. A blocker. Yeah, I think a heart. I'm not sure if it was you last time, Lucy, that suggested, or somebody suggested a heart, and I think that would be super cute, especially um, with these fabrics and colors. I have I have well, I have the 10 extra strips so I can do the sleeve, but when I was making them, I have enough cut off that I think I have enough space that I can cut out a heart and then just do the edge. Oh, Nikki, you should. Yeah, what I find for me going live on both of them that's a little bit hard is that the chat on TikTok is really hard for me to keep up with because on TikTok so many people like come in and out of it. So I always tell people if they want to like be more interactive in the chat to watch YouTube. But TikTok's pretty good. Sometimes people leave me messages, or I've gotten a lot of new followers that way. So adding a ruffle in the seam of the arm. Oh, that would be cute, Lucy, but I definitely think that's above my skill. I'm just happy that this actually worked out okay. maybe I can work up to that. I'll slowly get a little bit braver with the with the clothing. So, all right, well, I'm gonna hop off for the night. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate all of you. I didn't post anywhere, so I appreciate all you guys hopping on, seeing that I'm on, and I also just appreciate everybody helping me to make sure that I'm not making a mistake or doing it correctly. Have a good night, everyone, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Thank you for joining me. Bye.